Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and there was like a big stall there when I tried to start recording for some reason on the old computer. It might be time for a restart. Oh well. Wanted to make everybody aware that John Deaton's Twitter account, he had said that he was under, that he had people trying to hack his system a lot over the last week or something. And apparently on his birthday, someone hacked his Twitter account, and I don't know what else. But I do want to make you aware of it, and don't click on any of these things that are being tweeted from his account right now. If you look at his account right now, you've got, don't miss out, they're talking about some random token or whatever. Anyway, somebody's trying to make money, and we don't know what, just make sure you don't click on any of that stuff, because no telling what it could do to you. Anyway, also, and certainly don't pay any attention to the tokens they're mentioning. Also, Crypto Law, which is his law firm, they are not hacked, and they updated. They said hack update. John hasn't yet recovered his Twitter account, but is in touch with them, and it might take several days to complete. Thanks for the community-wide support. John is aware of comments suggesting that XRP holders' information has been compromised. That is not true. The list of putative class of XRP holders' emails are not connected to his email account or his cell phone in any way. All right. And then, so let's move along. So hopefully John will have that situated here shortly. XRP, this is Dark Defender. XRP preparing herself to jump to 94 cents based on a coffee cup handle. I've prepared the daily update below. Enjoy your day full of coffee. Mine's full of coffee. In fact, I've got it right here. Let's have a sip. And then we had this one from eGrag Crypto, XRP 781 days. XRP cannot grind its way above the final wake-up line. It must blast off. I like that. It must blast off. XRP has been getting rejected from that line for almost 781 days. This is the fourth attempt, but it is not successful so far. Then we had this, check this out. This is interesting. This is a guy back in the day. This was going around this morning, back in the day, and he's mesmerizing, can't believe that Bitcoin has hit $111. I personally believe that there will be a day when there will be a lot of people that said, you mean you have XRP? You mean you've got an XRP? Watch this.
Graph, I'm right here watching history be made. Bitcoin is now up to $111. It's an all-time high, and it's continuing to rise. I've seen it break 3 times today. It went up to 110, and this is the highest that it's been. It's ridiculous. Last trade, 189 Bitcoin for $111 piece. That's amazing to me. I mean, just look at this graph. You see this graph? That's the last 3 hours. Give me a second, I'll switch it up.
You know what's amazing is that we've never had a utility bull run, and the whole concept of digital assets, it's all, Brad Garlinghouse has said it a million times, it's always been about utility, and we haven't even had a utility bull run. All we've had is speculation, and think about this, all of the speculation that you have seen is with no digital asset having real legal clarity. The question is, what happens when all the big boys can finally jump in? And I'm going to show you a clip at the end of this so you can see what they're doing. Folks, make no mistake, the more scary that crypto feels, the more, for me, more of a buying opportunity it is, because when all the fear is there, that is the big boys trying to drive the prices down, and Gary Gensler's helping them. They're his buddies. Same people that are in the market buying right now because the market's been killed by Gary Gensler and friends, those same people are his buddies, and that's not a coincidence. Memories from 1999. This is the X.com Visa. Remember, PayPal was called X.com before it was PayPal, and their goal was to create a global currency, and they abandoned the goal. We've got them on video saying that they abandoned that goal because they had to turn a profit, a more short-term goal of turning a profit for their venture capital investors. And so they had to abandon what their real dream was, which was to create a global currency. Elon Musk says, time to complete the circle. Then we've got this. This is a great reminder. Some don't remember this tweet, but Ian Benz is reminding us. Frodo was the underdog, and he's used a play on Dogcoin. And all that thought he would fail, himself most of all. He's got a Bitcoin ring, and it says one coin to rule them all. But at the very top, he's got an XRP Bitcoin pair, folks. That really was tweeted a long time ago. It reminded me of Kendra Hill, who disappeared off of social media, who had typed this up. The world only needs one. Cryptocurrency will be made illegal. The one world currency is already here. Nobody was ever saying this right here except for Kendra Hill, which is one of the things that really caught my attention. And she said, Bitcoin, the illusion is that Bitcoin, for example, is untouchable. The reality is that it is government controlled through the use of mining pools. Ask yourself, why is my channel and maybe one other like Bradcom, why are they're the only channels that ever talk about the elephant in the room, which is they know who Satoshi is. Why does the government know who Satoshi is, but they want the world to think that they don't? They let that go. Why have our government agencies given Bitcoin this quasi-label of a commodity when they know who Satoshi is? Does that make any sense? The answer would be a big fat no. Now here's something that makes sense. This Meta Lawman's an attorney, and he says, modest proposal to reform the SEC. There's a lot of talk about reforming the SEC now, directly as a result of the XRP army. The draft digital assets bill released yesterday by Congress presents a golden opportunity to begin to reform SEC and rein in its tendency for regulatory overreach. Here's how. Amend the bill to say at the conclusion of every litigated SEC case, the court shall determine which party is the prevailing party. If the court determines that the defendant is the prevailing party, then the SEC shall pay all attorney's fees incurred by that defendant. This would mean that if Ripple were to prevail in the case with the SEC would be required to reimburse Ripple its $200 million in legal fees. If the SEC loses, why should they be able to just shrug and move on after inflicting such enormous damage on the defendant? Exactly right. There should be repercussions. There should be repercussions for the chairman. There should be repercussions so that you can't just file lawsuits as weapons. Ashley Prosper's making a very good point here. The SEC has been preparing itself to release the Hinman emails ever since they referred to the former director of corporate finance, Bill Hinman, as Citizen Hinman. In order to save the agency as a whole, a sacrificial lamb is required, and the lamb is Bill. They will pin it all on him. He went rogue, they will say. He never delivered the agreed upon final version of the speech. He was told by the ethics office that he had conflicts of interest, yet he still persisted. They will say that everyone involved in the speech is no longer a part of the SEC and that the matter has been referred to the OIG for investigation and learning. This is what they did during the Madoff things, is they said, oh yeah, this is all going to be investigated and we're going to correct it and da-da-da-da-da. And of course, nothing changed. It just got worse. So it'll be someone's job to make sure that it's not just business as usual. Now watch this. This is from Riz.Gensler Gary Gensler resigned. Pay attention. Sandy Call is part of the Franklin Templeton Institute. On institute coming into the space of digital institutions coming into the space. Watch this, because this is what's going on right now.
Institutions, I think, are saying, okay, we have seen waves of bull markets in the crypto domain now ever since 2011 or so. Every few years we've had these waves of bull markets, and they keep becoming amplified, right? And we believe that we want to position for the next big wave, but institutions hate buying in already rising markets, right? They want to get positioned when things are cheap, when nobody is really looking at a space, and they have the patience to wait. And so I think that you have seen a migration of interest from the retail to the institutional side of the equation. And I think that many of the leading institutions in the world who were the first into hedge funds, who were the first into private equity, who were the first into private debt, they are looking at the crypto domain as the next, as I say, kind of frontier risk marketplace. And they are using this period of crypto winter to
creating this period.
Begin to put their programs into place. It takes about 10 to 15 years, believe it or not, for institutions to fully position themselves in a new asset era, right? When you think about alternatives, the move into alternatives really began back in 2003. And it really wasn't until about 2018 that you really saw that move of institutions into alternatives begin to flatten out. And so I think that you're starting to see that institutional interest. I think that they will come in each time the market falls and put a little bit more on and a little bit more on. And over time, that will start to create a good foundation for the markets. And then when the next bull run really starts to occur, and retail interest starts to build again, that institutional floor will be under the marketplace. So I think that this is a cycle, and we are at the part of the cycle that's actually super healthy for the long-term growth of the marketplace because these institutions have staying power.
I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. This is all a cycle, folks. And I can tell you firsthand that I've been through several of these now, and I've done the best when I just was buying when things were bad. That one in 2018-19 was brutal, far longer and far worse